Hello there, Dr. Laura Foster here. I am wanting to give you a little bit of information about an upcoming workshop that we have at Foster Family Chiropractic. We have been doing these workshops for several years. I personally have been in practice for 20 years. This is a culmination of not only my work, but of the associate other chiropractors, Dr. Warner, that I have in my practice. And this is something that we share with our practice members, and we are happy to bring community members on board. So let me tell you a little bit about it and kind of why we think it's such an integral part, such a strong foundational piece for your overall health and well-being. First of all, the workshop is called Move Well. And the reason being is we focus on a very hands-on, active 90-minute program where we walk you through and you actually get to do the exercises, the stretches. You get to learn more about the concept of why this is an important part of almost kind of your everyday lifestyle. So, this is what we notice in our practice. A couple things. First of all, some of our practice members definitely don't have the structural integrity in their spine and in their nervous system. From a chiropractic perspective, we work on their nervous system and their spine. But what you do in all the other days of the week and of the month and of the year will naturally override some of the great work that we do together if it's so far out of alignment with creating natural balance in your body. So there are definitely key exercises, there are key concepts that will help you not only feel better, function better, preserve your actual alignment of your spinal column, decrease the overall amount of degenerative changes that we have, allow you to hold less postural tension and stress in the muscles of your body, in the structure of your body, and certainly reduce the overall amount of injuries. Now, 3 things that we see all the time for one. One is the majority of us have lost our full ability to extend our bodies. And that probably has to do with the fact that we're over top of computers a lot. We are over top of devices a ton. We are constantly have our head forward in flexion, whether we are, a breastfeeding mom or, a mom in general who's constantly have small children in her lap. Certainly that happens to men from the perspective of parenting. We have a tendency to overdevelop the front of our bodies. We love to work on our biceps. We love to work on our chest. But we also do things all day long that are constantly building the front of our body. And what we're doing is we are ignoring these very important contributors to proper health. So there are 2 things that we need to do. We have to learn how to create better alignment, not just from that mental perspective of saying, hey, pull your shoulders back, because the minute you start thinking about something else, your body just kind of goes back to this. What happens is so much of our body's in constant flexion that we shorten and tighten the muscles that are in the front of our system. So putting you through a program that allows you to, at home, work on opening up a lot of these front structures through the use of not just your body weight, but also through using foam rollers and therapy balls, and actually just changing your overall ergonomic setup and what you're doing with your body. That's one part of it. But the other thing is we have to focus on these movers back here that are just, in most cases, become elongated. And in a relative sense, they become weakened. So while we're working on our biceps, we have a tendency to ignore our triceps, our rear deltoids, our rhomboids, and all those muscles that pull our shoulder girdles back and down our back and in alignment. Also, that has a positive effect of pulling our head, of course, back over top of our spine. For every inch forward that our head starts to go out of natural alignment, it is like an additional 10 pounds of weight hanging off the front of our body. So we're utilizing muscles that are supposed to be large primary movers as postural muscles. And if you've ever felt these big trapezius muscles that most of us have overdeveloped and get chronic tension points and so on in there, if you've ever felt those and you feel that they are tight and sore, these are some of the reasons why it's happening. So we need to address that. And when we have that constant flexion, we also put ourselves in a defensive position and we shut down a lot of our breathing patterns. So by being able to open up a lot of the front part of our body and re-engaging through specific muscle work and body work you can shift that whole alignment, and it will make a giant difference in how you feel, of course, how you function, and so on. So that's it. We become a sitting generation, or sorry, an extension generation. We've lost it. We're always in forward flexion. Number two, the other issue that we have is, and I just spoiled it because I said it, is that we sit too much, right? We're in our cars, we're commuting. Many of us have desk jobs. We have, really lost our, the lifestyle of where we are walking places and we are, just using our feet to move. It's great to have the convenience of escalators and elevators and, cars and transportation and all these different things that we have. But what we really need to be doing is we need to be waking up our system and having less sitting. So being able to run you through a program that opens up a lot of those muscles that are chronically tightening. That's where we start to look down the frame and we start to get into tight hip flexors, tight and weakened stabilizers of the pelvis, and the glute muscles become disengaged. So when people walk into our practice, sometimes hobble into our practice, and they are tight and they are sore and so on, they think, how do I get this back? How do I get the strength back? And we always think about the core. But the core is just not our abdominal muscles. The core has a lot to do with rebalancing out a lot of the structures and functions of the lower body. But of course, I just want to back up to go forward. How we function in our daily life is never one area. Our body is far more dynamic than that. So it is taking in the structure and function of everything that goes on from the top of our head to the bottom of the feet. And that's why in the Move Well workshop, we address all that. We work on the shoulder girdle, we work on the upper back and neck area. Of course, we work on those muscles that become disengaged and tight between the shoulder blades. And then we got to move into the hips because, wow, those hips hold a lot of tension. Half the time, we're not even aware. So even if you're walking around and you don't have the classic sort of idea of back pain, the amount of resources that our nervous system and our body is putting towards holding this all together is crazy. And sometimes that's actually setting us up for things that are happening in the lower leg. So knee issues, tight calves, plantar fasciitis, problems with our feet, and just overall soreness in our iliotibial bands going down the side of our legs. Oftentimes that's a result of what's happening at the level of the pelvis. So we like to focus a lot on that. And it comes a lot of times from not having enough cross training in our life, sitting too much, and just holding that tension. So that's a really important part of what we address in the Move Well workshop, and something you would notice a very positive effect if you had some key strategies to change that. Number three, this is what we also see, is that we have a tendency to ignore the foundation. This is where our body functions from. So, our spine and our nervous system is it's our core system. It is our central hub for how all the other parts of the body function from. It is our skeletal framework, and more importantly, I guess I would say, it's the foundation. So having some foundational exercises is really important. We have a tendency, if we are gym goers or we do exercise, we go to the gym and we use those big muscles, right? We love to do lat pull downs, we do squats, we'll do bicep curls, we'll do things like that move all those big muscles, and they're really important. But if we do that at the expense of not strengthening, training, and balancing out those very, very small stabilizers of our spinal column, the foundation isn't there, and we start to get imbalances. We start to hurt our shoulders. We start to strain our lower backs. We set up issues in our elbows and our hands and our knees and our feet. This is what this is about. So although I'm going to say to you, I think squats are great exercises and so important to use so many other primary movers in your body. These are the things that you need to learn. So that's what we do at this workshop. Okay, that is the benefit. I'm going to look at my notes because if you know me, I have a tendency I don't use notes, but I just want to make sure I'm getting in the key points that I want to get in. Okay, what is the benefit of this? If you didn't already hear the benefit woven in there, let me just say, this is what your life experience is about. How you live in your body and how you move your body sets a large foundation for how you live your life. And I know that sounds crazy, but there are some things that we could be teaching you, some things that you could be doing on a daily basis that not only make you feel better, which let's be honest, your quality of life and how you feel in your body and in your life is so important, but you're also going to have a huge change in the function of your body. If you are a chiropractic practice member, which for goodness sakes, I hope you are, it's so vitally important to good health, then this is going to help you hold your adjustment much, much longer. You're going to get better results from your care. You're going to get better results from really any of the things that you're doing physically with your body because your foundation is going to be stronger. You are going to notice that you're less fatigued. You're going to get fewer injuries. You're going to slow down and change the trajectory of any level of degenerative changes that's going on in your body. You're going to create more natural alignment. Your breathing is going to change. And you're going to feel strong and relaxed. That's super, super important. Okay? So those are the benefits in amongst many, many other things. It is doctor-led. It is 90 minutes. All the upcoming dates I'm going to post in the bottom of the post because it's forever changing. And it's going to make you feel fantastic. If you want more information, if you for some reason missed when the next upcoming Move Well workshop is, you can go on our website at fosterchiropractic.com, look for the events tab. You can also call our office at 905-898-8098. It is open to our practice members, of course, and please bring your loved ones or anyone else in the community. We would love to have you there. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you at our Move Well workshop.